After a full year of being trapped in Dragon Ball Super superhero manga purgatory, we're finally coming out of that, starting with chapter 101 and now with Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 102, as we're getting into new material, continuing the story after Dragon Ball Super superhero, leading to whatever the next arc is going to be. It hasn't been announced yet. As of right now, we're in the Dragon Ball Super superhero epilogue, but this epilogue is bringing the goods as chapter 102 presents Ultra Instinct Goku with the silver hair versus Gohan Beast. Something we've all talked about, something we've all been waiting for, something we never thought we'd see right now, and we're actually seeing it. And I am so excited because the story's progressing. We may get some more answers on the power of UI and Beast Gohan, and we might get some pretty great entertainment. So today we're talking about Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 102. This is my review. Starting with Chapter 102, I'm going to be going back and doing reviews and streams separately. For a while, I was doing the review and the stream as one big stream, but now you're going to get your review video and the stream separately, so look forward to that. The stream is happening Wednesday, February 21st at 6 p.m. Eastern. We will be taking calls live and taking questions and giving answers as best we can, as well as reading your comments on this chapter. But what do I think about Chapter 102? Let's talk about it. As father and son prepare to clash in Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 102 and beyond, we present from Dead Dark, and I'll leave a link to his Twitter in the description as well, the brand new father and son merch line, part of the Geekdom 101 store. You can get it in multiple different colors and sizes. You can also get other products such as hoodies, hats, or prints. I will leave a link down below. This is for a limited time, and for right now, for a limited time, 25% off all merch. Do not wait. This is going fast. Click the link. Let's get to the review. After Goku sensed Gohan's new power in Gohan Beast from all the way on Beerus's planet deep into the cosmos, he knew he had to have a piece of that. So the chapter begins with Goku showing up on Earth and greeting his children and Trunks, and his excitement can be seen in his face. He wants to challenge Gohan. He wants to test himself like Goku has always done, against the strongest and the most talented, even if it's his own blood. Very Goku moment, and I love it. Goku tells everyone, including Goten and Trunks, to get into the Red Pharmaceuticals truck so he can teleport all of them to Beerus's planet so they can have this sparring match. This also includes the Red Pharmaceutical soldiers, number 15, and the surviving Carmine, who have no idea what they're in store for. So they show up, and this is a moment that I consider pretty important because it's the first time that Beerus has seen Gohan since the Tournament of Power. It's the first time that Broly is meeting Goten, Trunks, and Gohan. It's the first time in a long time that Vegeta's had any kind of interaction with Gohan. And we're having a lot of these characters that have been separated for several arcs at this point, and several, it feels longer than it actually is in the real world because we've been sitting through it for so long. But they're all reunited now, and of course, as a Dragon Ball fan, I'm excited because we might get some very interesting interactions and interesting fights. During these conversations, we find out that Gohan Beast was named by Piccolo in-universe. So, in-universe, it is now officially Gohan Beast, and I'm happy about that. It's not just something that Toriyama named it. It's called that in-universe, and we find out that Piccolo helped Gohan master it, so now he can use it at will. All of that happened off-screen. I kind of wish they had shown us this, maybe in a couple of flashback pages, but it's still cool that we find out that Gohan has been training with Piccolo once more. That is good news. And speaking of, they do subtly tease that Goku wants to test himself against Orange Piccolo as well sometime down the road. Then we have this kind of funny interaction with Vegeta and Trunks where his fatherly pride takes over and he wants to make sure that Trunks actually did something in the battle with Cell Max, which he did, even though he wasn't really the superhero that Gohan and Piccolo were. So Vegeta is the one that gets the idea to have Gohan spar with the kids 2-on-1 first. So now we have Teen Goten and Teen Trunks 2 versus 1 against Gohan. This is already awesome, and since we were all kind of expecting or hoping for Goku versus Gohan, throwing this in as an appetizer was a great move from Toyotaro, and something that I didn't know. I didn't see any comments of anybody wanting to see that. I really didn't, but it's sort of like something that we didn't want, but we're glad we got. At least I speak for myself when I say that, because this was a great little appetizer. This is also where Broly finds out who they are. So we're getting the new generation of Saiyamen against the original Great One. And that's awesome. They're in their costumes and the fight begins. Gohan, just in Super Saiyan, is taking them on, saving his bigger forms for later. Goten and Trunks attack Gohan with this Hurricane Cyclone technique that reminds me of a technique that Pikkon used all the way back in Dragon Ball Z, and Gohan is still too quick for them, dodging it swiftly. At this point, Gohan recommends that they take the helmets off and fight them without them, because the helmets might be negatively affecting their vision, and that leads to them transforming into Super Saiyans, and Broly being like, so can everyone turn Super Saiyan at will? And Whis is like, yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like that line from the Buu Saga where Vegeta says there's a Super Saiyan bargain sale going on. That's Broly's version of that. You understand what I'm saying? The combat gets real good here with Goten and Trunks on the offensive. But Gohan is still too quick for them and too skilled, and he's not even using his final form. The combat continues even to Beerus' sacred tree, and it's still a matchup where Gohan is on the defensive and Goten and Trunks are trying their best to land a shot on him. At this point, Gohan turns up the heat a little bit and tries to counterattack, but Trunks is there ready to meet him, so he's no pushover. He's not anywhere near as strong as Gohan, but he's also not going to go down like a chump. Now, this is where I get extra nerdy. Gohan executes a beautiful Greco-Roman knuckle lock and manages to fling Trunks away from him, just through his ass. And that was awesome. That's a move that we do not see very often in this series. Goten tries to take advantage by kicking Gohan, but he misses. Now, it's at this point that Gohan upgrades his power and goes into Ultimate. And one of the cool Easter eggs, or I guess cool moments, I would say, of this chapter is that we now officially, in universe, have the name of Gohan's ultimate form, and it is Ultimate Gohan. You have to understand that Ultimate Gohan, that title for that form, is one that we only heard the title of in the video games as well as in some of the merch and in the guidebooks, but it's never been called Ultimate Gohan in the series itself. This is the first time, and Goten and Trunks are the ones that named it, which I think is pretty cool. So to attempt to even the odds, Goten and Trunks attempt the fusion pose, but they fail, and we have fat Teen Gotenks once again. It's funny to me that the only time they've teased them actually accomplishing the fusion was in the last scene of the superhero movie prior to credits, where it looked like they actually got the form right. They actually got it right. And yet, still in the manga, they still make these mistakes. It's almost like Toyotaro is pulling a Toriyama and trolling us. That's really what it feels like. But hey, it is what it is. Naturally, Gotenks is no match for Ultimate Gohan. Earlier in the chapter, we find out that the two Red Ribbon guys have been videotaping all of this. And in one of the funnier moments of the Dragon Ball Super manga, I think this is great Toriyama comedy that Toyotaro pulled off here. Gotenks, humiliated at his defeat, asks Carmine and 15, can you please delete the footage where I lost? That is freaking awesome, yo, and hilarious too. Now it's time for Goku, as Goku goes immediately into perfected Ultra Instinct, the silver-haired Ultra Instinct. Beerus makes a comment saying this is Goku's strongest technique, his strongest form. Now, that's led to some controversy, but you have to remember, True Ultra Instinct slash Goku's modified version of Omen, that's the most comfortable form for Goku to use because it's a combination of both letting your body move instinctually but also having emotions play a part in that. But Goku's strongest form as far as pure power and speed is still the silver-haired Ultra Instinct. So he's not wasting any time. And Gohan doesn't either, going immediately into beast mode and creating one incredible key storm, a storm of energy. It's kind of like Super Saiyan 2 with even more lightning. And now it's on. Ultra Instinct Goku versus Beast Gohan, or Gohan Beast, whichever you take it. They start going at it. I mean, fists are flying. Their speed here, the sheer power that these two have concentrated is able to make the Red Ribbon vehicle fly back and everyone else almost lose their footing. Thankfully, Broly's there to save them. And it's just an incredible surge of power going all over Beerus's world. And trust me, this fight starts to tear up the planet. And Beerus gets quite annoyed at the end of the chapter because a lot of his planet was just smashed. Thankfully, Whis did put a force field around the civilians or the non-combatants to protect them from this unbelievable power of father and son. Also, speaking of Beerus, I do want to address that earlier in the manga chapter, Beerus is asking about whether or not Gohan is the strongest, and Whis has a very sort of affirmative reply without like saying for certain. He's almost like saying it appears to be the case or it seems to be the case, depending on which translation you're looking at. So be aware that Whis is leaning towards Gohan being stronger, but this fight will certainly give us an idea for sure as they keep going at it, and it's not over with chapter 102. Goku and Gohan have the same blood running through their veins, and it's boiling at this battle, which will continue next month. The only thing I did not like about this manga chapter was when Goku asked Gohan if his new power was Super Saiyan 2 or 3. Goku should know by now that those forms are far beneath what these guys can do, and he should have also remembered that Gohan was the one that first got Super Saiyan 2. So that line bugged me. It's kind of like the line in the movie where he forgot about, meditation. It's just annoying, and maybe it was meant to be a joke on that, like a self-referential joke. I just didn't like that line. But besides that one line, dude, this is one of my favorite all-time manga chapters. It was epic. There was great art. There was great fighting. The combat was fun. They're progressing the story along while also acknowledging the events of Superhero. They are teasing events for the future and moving our characters together to meet other characters never met before. And there's even some good comedy in here. One of the near perfect Dragon Ball Super manga chapters. And I will see you guys tomorrow night here on the channel when you get a chance to read this thing. Plenty of time. We'll talk about it, you and I, together live. In the meantime, check out these videos as well.